This is Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa. The story of resurgent and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel. Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa.
Hello and welcome. I'm Gamechi Samandida, your news host for this hour. Stay tuned. We'll start with the International Labour Organization, ILO. The International Labour Organization, ILO, has emphasized the need to guarantee the free movement of pastoralists and their livestock as a key driver of livelihoods, economic stability and regional development across East Africa. Talking to POA, Kumpula Ndaba, director of the ILO country office in Ethiopia, said the organization is supporting member states to implement a newly adopted protocol on the free movement of persons developed in collaboration with the Intergovernmental Authority on Development. Ndaba explained that the protocol adopted by IGAD member states aims to create an enabling environment for pastoralist communities whose livelihoods depend on cross-border mobility.
Firstly, we're party to the development of the protocol on free movement of persons and transhumans. We worked on it together with member states as well as the IGAD Secretariat, and from there it was adopted. Now we are working towards the adoption of the protocol at a national level, meaning by member states. So that's the process we are involved in, and we are assisting member states to adopt that.
He noted that an IGAD ministerial meeting held in Addis Ababa last November strengthened political commitment to transhumance and livestock development frameworks. Pastoralism supports millions of families and contributes significantly to regional economies, Ndaba said, adding that regulated and cooperative migration systems are essential to ensuring decent work conditions for pastoralists.
The first thing to underline or to underscore is that pastoral work supports families, millions of families. So it should be regarded as work in the first place. It contributes to economic development. So our first intervention is to encourage member states to allow free movement of pastoralists together with livestock, create conditions that enable them to move. And the protocol is then assisting in that. But once you are done with that, then the conditions under which pastoralist work must then be decent. Right? And so decent work is part of the agenda. And that can be achieved when we talk to each other, when there is the migration of pastoralists together with their livestock is done in a regulated manner and is done with cooperation and coordination between member states.
He stressed that effective coordination among member states is critical to managing pastoral mobility, reducing conflict and promoting sustainable development. According to the ILO, proper implementation of the protocol will help transform pastoralism into a more secure and dignified livelihood while strengthening regional integration and economic resilience. ENOC Group has reaffirmed its commitment to expanding critical energy infrastructure in East Africa following a high-level strategic visit to Djibouti by its acting CEO Hussein Sultan Luta. In Djibouti, Luta met President Ismail Omar Gula and senior government officials to discuss accelerating the expansion of fuel storage and energy infrastructure, praising the country's rapid development and aligning ENOC's projects with national priorities through Horizon Djibouti Terminals Limited. He also held talks with Djibouti Minister of Energy, focusing on increasing storage capacity and advancing high-value energy projects to support economic growth and regional energy security. Lutas said the visit underscored ENOC's role in boosting fuel storage, logistics integration, and sustainable development across East Africa, while contributing to economic growth and social impact in the communities where the group operates. Moving to South Africa, South Africa's last remaining manganese smelter, TransAlloys Limited, has warned it may retrench up to 600 workers as soaring electricity costs and intensifying global competition threaten its viability. The company, based in east of Johannesburg, is currently operating only 2 of its 5 furnaces. TransAlloys' struggles highlight wider pressures facing South Africa's mineral processing sector, where high energy tariffs, infrastructure constraints, and cheaper international producers, particularly in Asia, are eroding competitiveness. This is significant given South Africa holds about 75% of the world's known manganese ore reserves. CEO Konstantin Sadovnik said local smelters are unable to compete with overseas rivals whose electricity costs are roughly half those in South Africa, making long-term operations increasingly unviable. He noted that manganese smelting is especially energy-intensive, worsening the challenge. The warning follows similar moves across the sector. Glencore recently announced the closure of 2 ferrochrome plants, while Smartnor Chrome said nearly 2,500 jobs could be affected as it scales back production. Although the government approved plans in mid-2025 to review power tariffs and consider export controls, concrete relief measures are still pending. TransAlloys expects to begin a formal restructuring process by February 2026 if conditions do not improve. The situation has renewed debate over South Africa's industrial policy, energy pricing, and the future of mineral beneficiation as policymakers grapple with balancing competitiveness, employment, and long-term industrial sustainability.
Modern farming methods in Ethiopia are transforming agriculture and boosting productivity across the country. Agriculture remains the engine of growth, prosperity, and food security in Ethiopia.
Moving to Nigeria, Nigeria will begin full reinforcement of its end-of-life vehicle policy in 2026 to reduce pollution, create jobs, and grow revenue in the automotive sector. The policy is being driven by the National Automotive Design and Development Council. The plan will bring order to how all damaged and abandoned vehicles are handled, dismantled, and recycled. Vehicle owners, importers, manufacturers, and recycling operators will all be required to follow clear rules on safe disposal and recycling. National Automotive Design and Development Council says public awareness campaigns will be rolled out nationwide to educate drivers, mechanics, transport unions, and communities on the benefits of proper vehicle recycling. This includes reducing air, water, and soil pollution caused by abandoned vehicles and unsafe scrap yards. The policy is also expected to create thousands of jobs. Recycling plant operators and auto technicians will receive training in modern and environmentally safe recycling methods. Authorities estimate the program could generate more than 150 billion naira annually once fully operational. The move comes as Nigeria records a sharp rise in used vehicle imports, raising concerns about the country becoming a dumping ground for aging cars. From 2026, the government will also introduce mandatory pre-export checks on used vehicles, aligning Nigeria's automotive sector with global environmental standards and supporting a cleaner, more sustainable economy. Turkey and Somalia have held high-level talks in Istanbul aimed at strengthening cooperation in the energy sector with a focus on hydrocarbon exploration in Somalia's land and maritime zones. Somali Minister of Petroleum and Mineral Resources Dahir Shire Mohammed met with Turkish Minister of Energy and Natural Resources Alparslan Bayraktar, who said the discussions reviewed ongoing joint exploring activities and operational plans for the next phase. The meeting comes ahead of Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mohammed's visit to Turkey, underlining the growing strategic importance of energy ties between the two countries. Talks also covered potential investments, technical cooperation, and future joint energy projects. Bayraktar said Turkey is building its energy partnership with Somalia on solid foundations, describing Somalia as a key African partner with significant untapped hydrocarbon potential. Beyond energy, the ministers also discussed cooperation in infrastructure, trade and security, including possible joint projects in transport, water infrastructure and sustainable energy to support Somalia's recovery and development efforts. Now to business news. Namibia is moving closer to full PayPal services with wider access expected from 2026, according to the Bank of Namibia. For many Namibians who work online, especially freelancers, artists and small businesses, this development could change how they receive payments from abroad. The timing of PayPal's arrival is important. Namibia has seen a rise in digital fraud as online banking and payments grow. In 2025 alone, banking fraud losses passed 65 million Namibian dollar, with police confirming that most fraud cases not happen through digital channels rather than physical theft. PayPal offers a different system. As a regulated global payment platform, it uses identity checks, fraud monitoring and dispute processes to protect users. Unlike crypto, where transactions cannot be reversed, PayPal allows users to report problems and seek recovery in many cases. While PayPal will not remove fraud completely, it gives Namibians a safer and more trusted option for international payments. As the country's digital economy expands, the platform is expected to support small businesses, protect users, and strengthen confidence in Namibia's growing online marketplace. Nigeria billionaire Femi Atidola has sold his majority stake in Garagu Power PLC in a major deal valued at about 1.088 trillion naira. The transaction was financed by a group of banks led by Zenith Bank. Atidola, however, will still keep a minority share in the power company. The sale was done through Amperian Power Distribution Company Limited, which previously held close to 80% of Garagu Power. Following the deal, MAMS Energy Limited has acquired 95% ownership of Amirpon, making it the new controlling stakeholder of Garagu Power. Garagu Power explained that there was no direct sale of its shares on the Nigerian exchange. Instead, change happened at the level of its parent company. As a result, the ultimate ownership of about 77% of Garagu Power has changed hands, even though the company's listed share structure remains the same. After the transaction, Garagu Power announced major changes to its board. Former Zamfara State Governor Senator Abdul Aziz Yari was appointed chairman alongside new executive and independent directors. At the same time, Atidola and several other board members resigned from their positions. Market analysts said the deal reflects a strategic shift by Atidola, who is now focusing more on the banking sector, where he is the largest stakeholder in First Bank. Despite the ownership change, Garagu Power remains financially strong, posting a net profit of 25.1 billion naira and revenue of 131.47 billion naira in its latest results, underlying its growing role in Nigeria's power sector. Finally, sports. Equatorial Guinea go into this match as the outsiders in Group E. They have lost both of their games so far, going down 2-1 to Burkina Faso and 1-0 to Sudan. In both matches, they conceded late goals that decided the result. With 0 points and bottom of the group, Equatorial Guinea are already out of the tournament. Even if they beat Algeria, they cannot qualify because they are behind their rivals on head-to-head results. This match is now about pride and finishing the competition on a positive note. Algeria, by contrast, have already done the hard work. The Desert Foxes opened their campaign with an emphatic 3-0 win over Sudan. They then followed it up with a disciplined 1-0 victory against Burkina Faso. Those results have given Algeria 6 points and top spot in the group. They have already secured qualification for the round of 16 and will be looking to maintain momentum ahead of the knockout stage. The Group E match between Equatorial Guinea and Algeria will be played on Wednesday, 31st December. Kickoff is scheduled for 17:00 CET as both teams close out their group stage journey at AFCON 2025. That's all for the hour. Thank you for watching and goodbye.